All right, hi guys. This is day 3 of figurative language. So really similar to the past 2 days, last week and the week before, but today, just focusing on something different, obviously. So our objective for today is students will memorize the definition of alliteration and allusion, be able to identify them in a sentence, and will be able to apply them to their writing. Okay? So starting off with alliteration. Alliteration is the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of a group of words. Okay, really simple. You've probably heard of it before. In the next 2 examples I'm going to show you. For example, Sally sold seashells down by the seashore. Okay, check out all the S's at the beginning of the words. Okay, I know that down by the, that doesn't quite fit, but in general, out of all of those words, most of them start with S. Okay. Another example, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Okay? Really simple again, alliteration. Okay? So, that is what alliteration is, and pretty straightforward. Okay? Now, going to allusions. Okay? Allusions might be a little bit more complicated, so if you don't get it right away or if you struggle with this, don't worry. But allusions are like my favorite part of reading and writing. Okay? So, an allusion is an expression that is used to reference something without explicitly stating it. Okay? So, just basically a reference is what it is, but you don't explicitly state what you're referencing. Okay? So, for example, ice cream is my Achilles heel. Okay? Achilles, is a famous Greek hero who was very strong and couldn't be killed unless he was hit in the back of his heel, which was his only weak spot. We have that. It's basically a tendon on the back of our, heel going up our leg. It's, our Achilles tendon. So the myth that goes along with this was that Achilles' mom dipped him in the river to give him, godlike powers, and so he could not be killed. But she held him by the heel, right where his Achilles is, and she didn't dip that part of him in the river. So then when she pulled him out, that was his weakest point. And that's what it said, that's how he died in battle. Okay. So me knowing about Greek mythology, about Achilles, about, what your Achilles heel is considered, which it's considered your weak spot, then I can tell based on this sentence that ice cream, that's my weak spot. That's what gets me. I fall for it every time, basically. Okay. So an allusion, I didn't, by saying ice cream is my Achilles heel, we didn't explicitly state that ice cream is my weakness, but I alluded to something that is referred to as a weakness in order to get my point across. Okay. Allusions are, if you are not well read and you don't do a lot of reading and you don't try to figure things out, you're not going to understand a lot of allusions. But I think allusions are so great because they really help you understand the deeper meaning of what the author is saying, okay? And they're a really fun way to, again, kind of make comparisons, okay? So, another example of an allusion is, I was surprised his nose was not growing like Pinocchio's. Okay, so this implies that this person was lying a lot because if you all know the cartoon character Pinocchio, his nose grew when he lied, right? So here's a little bit simpler allusion, but it still gets the point across that this person was lying a lot. Okay, so that's what an allusion is. There's lots of examples online, and I'm sure you can think of many on your own. And you'll practice that here in a little bit. Okay? So, why are alliteration and allusion important? Alliteration is important because it focuses a reader on a specific part of a text. Okay? Especially if you as the author really want your reader to understand something or, remember something, alliteration is a great way to get that point across. Okay? Allusion is important because it gives us a deeper understanding of an author's meaning. Okay, being well read is key for being able to understand allusions. So doing a lot of reading, knowing a lot about history, art, basically anything else in the world, being well-rounded in your education is really important to be able to understand allusions. And that's one of the many reasons that I really love allusions. Okay, allusions are probably my favorite thing in literature. So your assignments today, okay? The alliteration assignment. So on a Google Doc, just, a blank one, create 3 new phrases using alliteration. Okay? Really simple and straightforward. But if you're struggling, start by picking a letter you want to use for alliteration and then think about words that start with that letter. So again, you're going to need to do some brainstorming if you're really struggling. And even if you're not struggling, I would suggest doing brainstorming, okay? One really good brainstorm technique that you could use for this is the web. So in the center of your web, you would put the letter you want to use, and then in the stems coming off of the letter, you could put different words that start with that letter to make an alliteration, phrase. Okay? There must be at least 6 words in each phrase. Okay? And you can turn this back in on Google Classroom. Okay? And then for the allusion assignment, just on the same Google Doc, just make sure you specify, your alliteration section, and separate it from your allusion section. Okay, don't put them together. Give me a little bit of separation so I know. So on the same Google Doc you made for the alliteration assignment, create 3 of your own allusions using anyone or anything you want to reference. Okay, so this can be cartoon characters that are well known for something. This can be famous people that are well known for something. This can be, if you're into Greek mythology, it can be something from Greek mythology. It can be from books. You could reference Harry Potter maybe, for example, but just make sure that, you have to make an allusion. You have to allude to something well known so that your reader or whoever your audience can understand that allusion. Okay? If you reference something that no one knows about, then the allusion is going to be almost irrelevant, obviously. Okay? So, again, make sure to write complete sentences with correct capitalization and punctuation. Okay? I just want to give you a couple examples for the allusion assignment maybe. So, he was the Tom Brady of our football team, okay? Tom Brady is a fantastic football player, very well known. He's the quarterback. He's a leader, okay? So, if I was to say he was the Tom Brady of our football team, I'm implying that this person is really a leader. He could be quarterback, maybe not, but really a great leader and a great player, okay? Next, he was the Adam Sandler of our class. So Adam Sandler is an actor who's really funny. And, if I were to say that, then I would be implying that this person is the funniest person in our class. Okay. And then third, if I wanted to reference an event, so it was like the blizzard of 2018 last week. Okay. Last year there was a really bad blizzard, in April. I don't know if you guys remember it. It was pretty bad. But I'm referencing an event so that, when saying it was like the blizzard of 2018 last week, my reader would know, wow, it was like blizzarding outside. The snow was really bad. It was, there's really deep snow. Okay. Just things like that. So you're not just, saying, wow, it was a blizzard last week. Okay. That's a pretty boring sentence, but you're giving it a little bit something else and something for your reader to think about. Okay. You guys, like I said, you can reference, cartoon characters, whoever you want, but make sure they're well known for something. Like Tom Brady's a great football player. Adam Sandler is an actor who's really funny. Okay, just things like that. Events, obviously, whatever. So, good luck with this. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.